Introducing the quotient rule for differentiation, we are taking the derivative of f of x divided by g of x. So we have a function divided by another function. The dx means with respect to x. That means we are treating x as an independent variable. That is equals to gx times f prime of x minus f times g prime of x divided by the square of g of x. I always like making things simple. For quotient rule, I would just say gf prime minus fg prime divided by g squared. So let's put this on the first problem. So the first problem, we have a rational function, and I would like to find f prime of x. So f prime of x. So we have gf prime minus fg prime, right? So the first thing that I always do is I will draw a long fraction bar and then square the denominator. So 6 plus 4x squared. So now the g squared is done. And then we do gf prime. So we copy the denominator, 6 plus 4x. And then for f prime, so since assuming this is our first time and your first time studying quotient rule, I will just do one extra step for you. So I am taking the derivative of f, which is the derivative of the top 3x minus 2. And then for quotient rule, we use a minus fg prime and then 3x minus 2 times the derivative of g. So this is d dx, the denominator, 6 plus 4x. And then we take the derivative. So long fraction bar, and then we square the denominator, 6 plus 4x squared. And then for the top, you have 6 plus 4x. The derivative of 3x is equals to 3. The derivative of 2 is equals to 0. So the derivative, the f prime gives you a 3 only. And then minus 3x minus 2. The derivative of 6 is equals to 0. The derivative of 4x is equals to 4. So now the derivative is done. And then you can take this as a final answer if your instructor says simplifying the derivative is not necessary, which is what I always do, because that gives me an easier time when I do the grading. So I will check your derivative. If everything is okay, I will just give you full credits on exams and quizzes. But most of the time, and most instructor would like you to simplify all the way to the end. So when you do your simplification, do not expand the numerator. Do not expand the denominator. It is not necessary to do so. So let's continue. F prime of x. So still square the denominator, 6 plus 4x squared, and then we distribute the 3, so we get a 18 plus 12x, and then minus 12x plus 8. And then you combine the line terms, so 12 minus 12 is 0, so you have a 26 divided by 6 plus 4x squared. So this is the derivative of the first function using quotient rule. Or what is the answer stands for? So the rational function, the given rational function, can be represented by a curve, right? So the curve, sometimes the slope is negative, sometimes the slope is 0, sometimes positive. Can you give me one function to describe the slope? The answer is yes. So the f prime of x is the function that you are looking for. Moving on to the green function. So that one is longer and harder. So let's get started. The next function we have, I can just copy and paste this over, right? So copy and paste. All right, so what is f prime? So for quotient rule, just remind yourself that for quotient rule, you have gf prime minus fg prime divided by g squared. Every time you do quotient rule, just drop this down on your paper. F prime of x, as always, I would like to square the denominator first. So x squared minus 5x plus 1, square that, and then gf prime, so you copy the denominator one more time, and then take the derivative of the numerator. X to the third plus 3x. For quotient rule, you use a minus. For product rule, you have a plus. And then the numerator, x to the third plus 3x, and then the derivative of the denominator, d dx, x squared minus 5x plus 1. And then the next step is you do the derivative. Long fraction bar, and then square the denominator. X squared minus 5x plus 1, and then the derivative of x to the third is bring the 3 down, and then 3 minus 1 is 2. The derivative of 3x is a linear function. The slope is equals to 3, and then minus x to the third plus 3x. The derivative of x squared is 2x. The derivative of negative minus 5x is a minus 5. Alright, and then at this point, the derivative is done. So if your instructor says, find the derivative and do not simplify, then this is the answer your instructor is looking for. Most of the time, you do have to simplify all the way to the end. Let's do that right now. It's a lot of algebra. You have to proceed with caution. It is so easy to make a mistake right here. So you have x squared minus 5x plus 1 square. So this one you make a distribution, x squared times 3x squared. So you have a 3x to the fourth, x squared plus times 3. So you have 3x squared, and then negative 15 x to the third, and then negative 15x, and then plus 3x squared plus 3. Just multiply two factors. And then you have a minus. So let's put the expansion inside the parenthesis. Because we have a minus, we have to do one more distribution. So you have 2x to the fourth minus 5x to the third plus 6x to the plus 6x squared, and then minus 15x. And then distribute the minus, so f prime of x, that is equals to, you know what, I can do this right here. So I can just copy this, paste, and then just do the distributions. So once you distribute the minus, you are reversing the sign, right? So that will be a minus 2x plus 5x to the third, and then plus 15x, but you have a minus 6x squared. All right, let's get to the last step. Okay, where is the simplification? I can see that there is a plus 3 in the final answer, and then the fourth power, we have a 3 minus 2, so you have a 1, x to the fourth. What about the second power? The second power, you have 3x squared, and then you have another 3x squared, and then you have a minus 6x squared. So you have a 3 plus 3, right? Is that all the square? You have a 3 plus 3, that is equals to 6, and then 6 minus 6 is equals to 0. So basically all the second power is gone. What about the third power? The third power, you have a negative 15 plus 5, so that is equals to negative 10. So you have a negative 10x to the third. And then what about first power? The first power, you have a minus 15. Right here, you have a minus 15. And then you have a plus 15. So they are gone. How about the constant? You only have one constant. So at the end of the day, you have x to the fourth minus 10x to the third plus 3, and then divided by the square. So x squared minus 5x plus 1 square. Did I make a mistake right here? The square. Let me check one more time. The square. We have 3x squared plus another 3x squared, and then minus 6. So that will be a positive 6 minus 6, yes. Okay, so let me fix this a little bit. So we do a plus 3, and then we erase everything else. So we erase all of this, and then we box our final answer. All right, this is our final answer. So that is also the end of this video. If you think my instruction is helpful, give me a like, share the video for me, click the subscribe button if you're on your way out. I will see you all in the next one. Signing out.